Roland.
Hello, welcome to Day One Patch Podcast, episode 279.
Brought back the Roland.
Oh, did you?
Did
you say Roland?
Yeah, but you just kept going like as if you didn't hear it, which was awesome.
What was weird is I was trying to think of the episode number.
Right.
I looked at my watch as if that would help. It doesn't say the episode number
No,
on
it
my
doesn't.
watch, and it's right at the top of the page here.
It's like a human thing when you need to think hard, so you like turn down the volume. Or no, what is it? What's that thing that we like? You'll always see people like when they're trying to think or when they're trying to see something. Yeah, that's it. When they're trying to see something, they turn the radio off.
Oh, because it like helps them concentrate.
Helps them concentrate or something. But it's like they turn. Like, I guess when they're trying to focus on something else, they have to like turn off the other senses.
One thing I do that I hate is I'll have headphones in.
Yeah.
And I'll be watching something on my phone, and to hear it better, I'll pull the phone up closer to my ear.
Damn it! I don't do that.
Even though I have headphones on.
Come on.
It's
now.
only when I forget my headphones are in.
Right.
So, that's Matt Lawrence. I'm your host, Ryan Johnson.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Is this my what's happening? Or
No,
are we
no,
doing,
I'm
doing
just-
our top stories. Oh, okay. Well, to hop right in, I was ready.
Just
I was like that.
there's
I was
the,
like the kid that was ready to say here in attendance.
It's just the elephant in the room of coronavirus.
I want to know how serious the situation is with the coronavirus.
Here's what's going to happen, though. This is my prediction. All right, you ready?
Okay, we are not medical staff. Please consult a physician.
This doesn't really have anything to do
Please
with...
contact a medical professional for actual advice.
You are correct, but I'm not giving advice. I'm just predicting what is going to happen because it has happened in the past.
Well, we've never had a pandemic like this.
Yeah.
A pandemic?
I think, if I recall, H1N1 was classified a pandemic.
Oh, it was actually classified
I
a
think so,
pandemic. I
yeah.
thought this was like the first actual classification. Shows how much I know. Like
No. But I think this happens to a lot of things in the past. So, actually, it's happening with vaccines right now. This very thing. So here's what I'm predicting is going to happen with COVID-19.
All right.
We're taking all these precautions,
Okay.
doing all these tests, having people wash their hands,
Yeah.
having people more informed, not going to public outings. All these big things are closing down, limiting travel. We're doing all these things. Then once it passes and we see it's not the end of the world, people will then say, oh, we overreacted. We started freaking out too much, not knowing that the precautions we took are what limited the effects of COVID-19.
Every time.
And then next time they'll just think, I don't have to do all that stuff. Look at last time. Nothing happened.
Oh, you think that's going to happen?
Yeah.
I think that people are...
But-
I thought it was just people are just going to freak out equally again.
But maybe they should, because then it helps not make it as bad as it potentially could be.
Well, one of the issues we have with like things cooling off quickly when they get resolved or like when they're going like better is the one guy on like Joe Rogan was saying that the SARS vaccination was like being researched after SARS kind of went away, and then they just stopped because they lost interest. But he said that it's possible, although they don't know for sure, but it's possible they could have actually just straight up had a coronavirus
Cure.
vaccination, because like MERS and SARS and
Well,
COVID-19 are all coronaviruses.
humans aren't very good at being proactive.
No.
We're very good at reacting,
Yes.
but being proactive, no. Can't do it.
All our IV bags are like 98% of or something like that of our IV bags are made in one factory in Puerto Rico.
But this is what happens
It's
with
fucking scary.
this is what happens with vaccines. The whole reason that people can get angry and think vaccines are dangerous is because they don't know a time when we didn't have vaccines, how bad it was,
Yeah.
when people were dying by thousands, if not millions, in certain cases.
Yeah.
So they don't have that perspective, and so they just think, why do we need vaccines? Everyone's healthy. I've never met someone with whooping cough or whatever you got,
I got that recently, actually.
You got whooping cough?
No, I got the vaccination.
For whooping cough.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Remember when you had to take me to the hospital because I screwed my foot up?
You got you
They
got
gave
all
me-
your
they're
boosters
like,
and stuff?
They were like, they gave me a tetanus booster because I hurt my foot. So they were like, just precaution. And they're like, well, we might as well give you a whooping cough vaccination. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to say no to that.
But this is what I'm saying. Now they don't think it's as bad because it's like, I've never met someone with this disease, polio. I've never met someone with polio. Why do I need the polio vaccine?
I don't get that even though. Like if you told me, like I get there's some like hesitation with vaccines, like that Lyme disease vaccination was like it went bad and they had to stop it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like other vaccinations, it's like I don't get the hesitance. Like I never hesitated when it was a whooping cough. It was like, oh, that sounds pretty horrible. I'll take that.
Well, because the tests have shown that they're safe.
Yeah.
So why would you have any hesitation?
That's what I mean.
I'm saying
it's
the people who. I mean, and I'm not blaming them for this, but there's a lot of people who will only believe things if they experience it, you know, or if their senses have to record it for them to believe it. And so when they don't see anyone with polio, they think, oh, I don't need to get the polio vaccination.
Oh yeah.
You know, even though they don't know that it can come back. Oh, I'm not sure about polio.
Is that a childhood one that we
polio
get?
might be gone, isn't it? I'm not sure.
Dude, is that a childhood one that we got? Polio vaccination?
I don't know. There's a whole bunch.
There's a whole bunch.
We
Yeah,
have one of those cards, right?
Yeah, I don't. Well, I've seen the posters in the doctor's office. I'm not really sure.
You don't have a card though that has all your checks on what you got and when you.
Oh yeah, I have that. Yeah.
There's a bunch on there.
Oh okay. Yeah, I never really like examined it. I just give it to my doctor to update.
But I'm just using polio as an example.
Yeah.
And then what happens in those areas where people stop getting vaccinations, that disease comes back. You know?
Pretty bad.
So, anyway, listen to your healthcare professionals.
Yeah, please.
And call your doctor.
But the one thing I don't get with this coronavirus thing, the scariest thing is I don't know what to do. So I get the symptoms. I get the wash your hands. I get the fact that it can be airborne from people coughing or breathing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. But I don't get like. So all this stuff is canceled, but the stuff that isn't canceled is that stuff safe? Am I supposed to be stocking up now? Even if I'm not supposed to be, because there's hysteria and people stocking up, do I now need to stock up because they're stocking up and I better get in there before there's nothing? Like, are the supply lines that hurt? Like how bad is it?
First of all, toilet paper is not apparently. Our good friends at Charmin apparently are going to be restocking soon.
Also, I was talking to Marty about this. Toilet paper ain't that bad. Like, if you actually ran out of toilet paper, but you still had running water and you're able to use a toilet, it's not great, but you would just use like an old face cloth and then wash it every time you wiped your ass.
It's probably one of those things where it's like they know they'll need it.
And so but like those people were buying toilet paper and not buying any food. There wasn't any food in a bunch of their I don't understand that.
Shows you human priorities.
Like we bought a bunch of frozen food because we're like, we'll buy this frozen food because it lasts a while.
Mm-hmm. That's what we did too, yeah.
Like it just kind of makes sense. Like, although it's just chicken, so it's not great.
Remember, it's only like for 2 weeks. You know?
Yeah.
And this isn't like rolling over the country, killing everyone in sight.
Well, no, but this is the question. So like, if I were to wake up on Monday, I don't know, let's just use the beginning of the week. I wake up on Monday and I have like a sore throat. Do I self-isolate?
Well, here's the thing.
What do I do?
I was looking at the Canadian Health website. Again, do your own research, people. I was looking at the Canadian Health website today because I was doing some stuff for work.
Yeah.
And sore throat is not one of the symptoms.
Sore throat isn't?
No. According to the Canadian Health website and the CDC's website, the symptoms are fever.
Yeah.
New or worsening cough, and trouble breathing.
Oh, I'm in luck then. All my colds and flus start with a sore throat for 2 days.
Yeah.
So if I get a sore throat, I know it's normal.
And apparently, and your cough is apparently it's a dry cough.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because it's like a respiratory thing.
Yeah.
So, runny nose is not on there.
Runny nose is not on there.
Headache's not on there. Sore throat's not on there. Yeah. But if you do get those symptoms, don't go to the hospital, they said.
Because you might just get it if you don't even have it.
They say self-isolate. Take your time off work if you're able to. You know? No,
but see, so there's the question. If you're able to, like, is this something where like they tell everyone with a cold to stay home, but it's like, but if you don't,
Canada's a bit probably more friendly where you can actually afford to take the time off, maybe.
No. What I mean is like how severe is it if you yourself have a suspected case, you yourself, should you in Canada be like, fuck, I better stay home?
Well, the first step is to call your doctor.
Okay.
And they will advise you what to do. Now, if your symptoms worsen,
yeah,
I think you then should get
tested. If you need hospitalization, you go to the damn hospital.
Yes.
Like, obviously, like if you really can't breathe or whatever, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. But that's only like 20% of the cases.
Right.
The rest are very mild symptoms.
Pretty scary. I mean, I like that if that sore throat news is real, that's pretty good because I always get sore throat.
Again, do your own research, people.
Yeah,
Don't take our medical advice on this.
Please call a doctor.
I'm just saying what I saw
whatever.
on the Canadian Health website. I read through the whole thing today. So there you go.
But I think that type of stuff is important, and it gets buried with all this news stuff, all these like crazy 170 cases. But by the way, 40 were solved. It's like, well, you didn't mention that to the end of the article. Come on, bud.
I heard some people are freaking out at people who are coughing in public. I have just a persistent cough.
Yeah.
Just my entire life, I just have a cough. So if I was out in public, it's like I just do a normal cough that I've always had. I don't have any other symptoms.
Do you cover your mouth though?
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't yell at you. I will say that if someone coughed and they were near me,
it's kind of gross. Yeah.
I would actually tell them off. In this day and age, I'd be like, you can go fuck yourself, bud.
All right, well, let's get into some happier news with some of this video game
let's
stuff.
talk about Ebola. No. God.
Let me just run down some of the top stories for this week. Former Nintendo of America president Reggie Fils-Aime is joining GameStop. Sony has finally confirmed that Horizon Zero Dawn is coming to PC. Doom Eternal will not be in true 4K on Stadia, despite them promising that. And then we got some E3 updates since E3 is canceled. That's probably the biggest news of the week.
And then I got a query corner question too.
And Matt has a query corner question. But let's start off. What's new, Matt?
So a couple things. I watched the Sonic movie.
Oh, and you liked it?
I liked it, yeah. I definitely get the impression that a lot of it's for kids and that type of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
But the theater only had about 6 people in it.
Millions of people enjoy Disney films, which are meant for kids.
Meant for kids, but yeah. The reason why I mentioned that is because a lot of the jokes are sort of low brow, they're very easy to understand, and I didn't laugh. It was like, oh, that's a joke.
There's a lot of slapstick kind of stuff too.
No, well, I don't know. Give me an example of slapstick. I never know where exactly that classification lies.
Kind of more like physical humor type.
Some of that.
Yeah.
I will say
goofy.
I really liked Jim Carrey as Robotnik. Actually, got some really legitimate laughs out of that. I liked his weird robots; they were cool. And the Sonic redesign, I would say, really helped it.
I'm glad he's acting because it seems like he disappeared for a while.
He probably just took a hiatus, right? It's like, okay, I'm taking a break, boys.
Yeah.
That'd be me if I made $100 million. I'd be like, I'm going to bed.
But I always get sad when these actors from our childhoods kind of just disappeared.
Well, he's probably coming back with a second. It's it's left open. There's definitely
Jim Carrey.
Well, I don't know about that. It's Sonic 2, but
yeah.
But no, yeah, Sonic's really good. I liked it. Not the most amazing thing, but
how was that CG?
Really good. Yeah, it was really good, and the story was good. It interacted with the real world well. I thought that was gonna be lame. It actually did well. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Would it be too smart for them to have made the Sonic look bad to get the viral marketing buzz, only to have that fix in the works already?
What did you just ask me?
Remember, everyone freaked out when Sonic looked bad.
Oh, yeah.
When the CG was bad.
Yeah.
Now, normally you can't buy that kind of marketing. Where everyone's talking about it.
Marty mentioned this to me. Yeah.
Are producers thinking of that stuff now, where they're making fake controversies?
They're doing little
just
controversies
to explode
because they got that fixed pretty quick. Changed all that animation pretty quick.
But they had the models all done and everything. I think it was a lot of just.
They had different models done though. They had the model.
No, I'm saying they already, however far along they were in the movie, they already had the actions and the facial animations all worked out. They just had to reskin it essentially.
Yeah.
So. And then they shut down that studio.
Wait, the Sonic studio?
The one that redid the.
That's really sad.
Redid his animation. Yeah.
It's good animation. It is really good. Yeah. So yeah, I would if
you're a Sonic fan.
Yeah, I would say that there was no issue with video game movie. There was no being oh, it's good for a video game movie. No, it's just a good movie.
That's good.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're on our way to successful video game movies. I
also beat Terminator Resistance.
Oh yeah, how was that?
Pretty good. The voice acting is particularly bad, and it felt it's the Unreal Engine, but I kept feeling like I was using the Unity engine in default indie game PC mouse control, even though it was on a controller. I don't really know how to describe that, but it's the movement in COD and stuff. They've perfected it, right? It's how when you let go of the stick, it has a transition to it, or slows down and stops a little bit. Yeah. It feels natural. This is very much you stop moving the stick, so it stopped moving. So you get. The reason why I mention that is because you get that indie feel. But there was like RPG elements, side missions, main missions, all kinds of stuff, and it was fun. It was really good. Yeah, really good. I did everything in it.
It's hard to know whether they have like a canon verse.
This is taking place.
Is this tied to the movies? Will they ever reference this or anything ever again?
It is tied to the movies, and it can be canon. So it like they could make it canon if they want. I thought someone said it was, but that was years ago when it, or not years ago. That was months ago when it was announced or something. So I can't remember if that's actually true. But it takes place. So it's like Judgment Day happened, right? And it takes place before all of the movies. So you see the John Connor from the first movie that is silent, like walks up and pulls out the binoculars. That scene is actually in this game. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good game. It's just shooting Terminators and crap. Like
Yeah.
It is an indie game. Like you're not getting like the Call of Duty, and the voice acting is pretty bad, obviously. But I mean, the only thing I didn't do was the collectibles. But yeah, it was good.
All right. I am continuing on my journey to complete Assassin's Creed Origins Platinum Trophy.
You're a madman.
I'm hoping I will get it this weekend, but no promises.
Now, what are you hesitant on? Which trophy are you hesitant on?
If I do, just if I've run into complications because all the locations might not be marked.
Oh,
And
yeah.
if they're not all marked, then I'll have to do a little more research on how to find them and stuff. And that oil jar thing, I think that might just be a matter of time. But
Oh, yeah, you're still doing that. That's right.
yeah,
That was horrible, your story about how you move the oil jar over to people that are sleeping, and then you shoot it with a flaming arrow and burn all the people that are
because
sleeping. You son of a bitch.
the oil jars instantly become useless. First of all, you're supposed to shoot them with a flaming arrow. Now, your bow automatically locks onto a target, and it won't easily pull it off.
And you don't normally have a flaming arrow.
And so if a guy is running past an oil jar, and I want to quickly fire an arrow at it, so by the time he gets to the oil jar, it's on fire and he has to run through the flames, I can't because it locks onto him, and then I have to struggle, and then I overcompensate because I had to rip the analog stick away, just to get it to aim properly.
It's not great.
And if you do it when you're hidden somewhere, first of all, it's not a very good stealth game.
It's not a very good stealth game.
Because
absolutely not a stealth game.
I have stealth killed people, and the two guys nearest will like turn around and like look.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's like, well, that was a stealth kill, bud. Like you shouldn't
And
have been
so,
able to hear that.
Even if I'm super far away or in a bush or something, and I shoot a flaming arrow at an oil jar, that guy gets alerted, which I think then increases his health a bit more because it's no longer a stealth fire kill. It's now a combative fire kill. Because you can do more damage when you're firing from stealth, right?
Yeah.
But if I'm firing from...
Do you?
I think so.
I see what you mean, though. It's like, because it's an RPG.
Yeah.
So you can get like almost like a cinematic kill. And that's sort of like stealth and
Yeah.
they're unaware of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they instantly become like alerted to my presence.
Oh, yeah.
It's just...
Drives me nuts.
It was not very intuitive on how to kill people with oil jars. And so I have to resort to finding them sleeping, carry over an oil jar, and then...
That's pretty horrible, Ryan. I attempted that trophy, and I think I'm not going to do it.
Ah, okay.
I think it's too big.
It's pretty big.
It's big, man.
It's tall order. Other than that, I don't think I've been playing much. I've just been working away on that.
It's kind of a lull in games right now. Like even...
Well, it's surprising for me to go back and play old games.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Red Dead is pre-update.
Fallout 76 is pre-update.
Fallout 76 is pre-update. Cyberpunk was delayed. Last of Us 2 was delayed.
I mean, we could be playing Warlords of New York.
No one's gonna do that. No one's gonna do that, including myself. I just deleted that game like 4 days before.
Well, no, we played on PC.
I'm not going back and starting at level 1. You don't even want to when you're shaking your head.
I kind of do.
You just want to boot it up because it's something new.
Yes.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
All right, let's hop into the stories for the week. You remember Reggie Fils-Aime? Fils-Aime. He is the former Nintendo of America president, and according to the Hollywood Reporter, he has left his well, we all know he left Nintendo,
He retired, yeah.
but he is now joining GameStop's board of directors, and it will become effective April 20th. And he joins former Walmart U.S. CEO KKR and Company, senior analyst William Bill Simon, and former PetSmart CEO James J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons?
Simancic.
Damn it, man. You really need to look up the phonetics of these.
How would you say this? Symancyk.
I have to see it, I think.
Simancic.
Anyway,
Simancic?
Semantic. Who knows?
So these guys are now supposed to revive GameStop from the ashes.
Yeah. They
Now-
probably have enough. Do they have enough money to buy GOG?
That'd be kind of funny, wouldn't it?
They honestly should start doing that. Like they should be buying these smaller markets.
This is one of those things where it's like, why didn't GameStop become
a digital game
a
sales.
digital game sale?
They could have. They. I mean, they kind of blew it, but at the same time, digital was coming in so slow that you can't blame them too much. But why don't they buy Green Man and stuff?
Yeah, you're right. But they were also very tied to their trade-in program. For them to do digital is almost betraying their trade-in thing, which made them a ton of money.
It is betraying them, but shouldn't you be cannibalizing yourself?
Correct. Yes.
Like it's one of the deals where first off, no one's trading in PC games because no one buys the disc anymore.
Yeah.
Like PC took digital to the extreme the quickest.
Yeah.
And so like you're already being killed off. Also, it's one of those things too where I know I've heard some people just say to me that if they were to buy like GameStop or not, if GameStop were to buy like Green Man or something, that's not enough revenue, but that's still a company. Like even if you have to lay off 80% of your staff, then GameStop still exists. Like, well, I don't understand the hesitation. Like, okay, so then sit here, panic, and then the whole company dies. Like, sit here, panic, and the whole company dies, or like have a portion still running.
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah. I don't know what they could do to make it more enticing. Like Epic Games came in pretty hot, but they were riding on the success of Fortnite, and then they had that very competitive payment plan for the developers or the publishers.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how EB Games would then come in and try to make a new launcher.
No. Don't make a new launcher. Don't do that at all. Buy the smaller guys.
Right.
Start taking part of some of Steam's market, or not even start of Steam's market. Use the fact that there's markets out there that sell Steam keys, and then you like get in that way. I would say, why doesn't GameStop start selling keys like Green Man Gaming and stuff? Why can't they open some sort of online gaming store?
Yeah.
The best way for them to do it, probably, since I would assume have cash on hand, is more than likely to buy these things.
But I'm curious why these guys joined this company, because it's like, do they know how to revive it? Do they have some plan?
Well, I always call him Fils-Aime. Fils-Aime said something like the gaming industry needs a healthy GameStop. Like they're a big piece.
Mm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if first off, Nintendo is probably going to be big in the physical for a while. So we may see smaller locations, even like kiosks or holes in the wall, which are GameStops. Like that might change. Yeah. They're already online, like they sell stuff online, but they need to sell digital stuff. If there's other companies out there like G2A, CDKeys.com, and Green Man Gaming, if they're all able to sell discounted keys, why can't a Titan a former Titan like GameStop do it? I don't get it.
They probably can.
Then why don't they do it?
I don't know.
Like, unless it's not that easy, but I don't get. That's weird, isn't it? Isn't that weird?
I just think it's an odd choice though for him to go from Nintendo to GameStop, unless he's just thinking, why not just have fun with his kind of semi-retirement? And it might be fun try new things to revive a company.
Try to fix a company up.
Yeah, that sounds like an interesting kind of task.
And he probably has a good insight.
He probably has millions of dollars.
That too.
So
he retired, so he has a pension.
He's definitely not worried about financial risk. So.
Is he old?
He's probably pretty old. Yeah.
Like.
Let's look it up.
Isn't he like in his 50s?
We have the power of Google.
Because I guess if he worked for 20, 30 years, like if he started in his 20s at Nintendo, then that makes sense.
He was at Nintendo for like 15 years, something like that.
Only 15 years,
He's
though.
58.
Okay, yeah. That's not too bad.
Yeah, he 15 years to the company, more than 12 of which he served as president and COO.
Pretty good.
Yep. So, good luck. I would hate to see GameStop go away. You know, so good luck to them.
I'm down to buy CD keys from them. Like, honestly.
Yeah, if they have the best deal, sure. All right, now in some both shocking and not shocking news, Sony confirmed that Horizon Zero Dawn is coming to PC. Now, this comes to us from The Verge. Herman Hulst, who runs PlayStation Worldwide Studios, confirmed in an interview with Sony's PlayStation blog that a PC version of the open world RPG will launch this summer. The game was previously exclusive to the PlayStation 4. Hulst did not specify a release date, but he said that Guerrilla Games, who's the developer, will release more information soon. The port is already listed on Steam Store, with PlayStation Mobile as the publisher. And they said, I quote, "I think it's important that we stay open to new ideas of how to introduce more people to PlayStation and show people maybe what they've been missing out on. In my mind, Horizon Zero Dawn was just a great fit in this particular instance." So we heard rumors of this happening, and now we finally got confirmation. I'm pretty excited for this.
I mean, it's a step in the right direction, although I don't know why this isn't in like is this just releasing on Steam and stuff allegedly? Like, or is
it's only on the Steam Store right now.
See, it's weird to me that PlayStation didn't take, because like, remember we had discussed in length about streaming games and being like, you don't need that piece of hardware anymore, stuff like that. So like we already had that conversation. But that conversation always, and it was just our opinions, but that conversation always kind of came to the same conclusion that you need the same brand.
Mm-hmm.
And so to do that, you kind of need the same launcher. Like, you would kind of make like a PlayStation launcher on the computer. It's weird that they went Steam, isn't it? Because
I don't. Now they said that.
Like, that's actually shocking to me. To be blunt,
they did reiterate their commitment to console.
Right.
Okay.
Of course.
They also said that this doesn't necessarily mean all future exclusives will come to PC, and doesn't mean that they'll come day and day, like the release day on PS4, same day as the PC.
No, yeah.
So what I'm thinking is they're just going to take their backlog. So Horizon Zero Dawn's like what, 3 years old, something like that.
It's a few years old anyway. Yeah.
So what if they have that time gap of any exclusive that's 3 years old finally makes its way onto PC? So that game's pretty much run its entire course of making money,
Yeah.
right? But this brings it to a whole new audience, and will reinvigorate it a bit. You know, so if they can take their old franchises and just kind of give it a new life on PC,
I mean, yeah. I don't think you're going to see anyone complain about them having the old library. It's just strange to me that they wouldn't, like, unless their plan is to never go to PC. Like the actual PlayStation brand to never go to the PC, the brand itself.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
Yeah. Or maybe maybe they're trying a technique to get people to buy the console. What if you really like Horizon Zero Dawn,
and then you want number 2,
and you want number 2 as soon as possible, but the next one's not going to come out for 3 years on PC?
That's interesting.
You know,
that's an interesting strategy.
Yeah. But
I think this is just going to reiterate the fact that I don't think consoles are going anywhere. Consoles are the only product. I was thinking about this the other night. Consoles are the only product that I've ever heard en masse people say they're not going to make any more of these. But yet, when a new one gets announced, and when there's a new one or just the latest one on the market, they make millions. It's the only product that sells well, and everyone's like, "Yeah, but they're not making any more." Why do we think that? Isn't that weird?
And this console generation has done better than the last.
That's what I mean. I don't get it.
It's a growing market technically.
Growing, or at least sustainable, or at least making a lot of money.
At least for PlayStation.
Well, I mean that's like a competitor thing.
And Nintendo.
That's a competitor thing, though.
Yes.
So, you know what I found, actually? It's a really random little sub note. I have a Pro controller.
You just found it somewhere?
I forgot I bought it on Boxing Day, and I saw a bag and was like, "What the hell is this? Gonna go throw it out?" Pro controller in there.
Well, I think it might be part of the bubble too that we live in, where we think, oh, why not buy a PC? You know, if you want to play an Xbox game, buy a PC instead. Don't buy the Xbox.
I still don't believe that, though. I still don't believe in that.
You're right, but most people probably don't. Most people think if I want an Xbox, I go buy an Xbox.
Yeah.
They don't go buy a PC that's $2,000.
A lot of people don't. Yeah, a lot of people don't buy a PC, and a lot of people expect a PC to run like a console,
mm-hmm.
and or in terms of simplicity to run things. And anyone who tells you that they don't have any problems on their PC and they just press play is telling you a bold-faced lie. They're actually lying to you. What problems do you have? You have a problem with your RGB. You have a problem with playing Division 2 when you have your RGB software installed.
That seems to be fixed, but it took a while.
Well, regardless, like that was a problem. That's not a plug and play. There wasn't any. You don't have to uninstall any RGB driver on your Xbox.
Well, even just performance issues. It's just like I have a 2080, which is pretty decent, and I even use the NVIDIA optimized settings, and I still get performance issues on games.
There's performance issues on games. There's weird like stuttering and stuff like that.
Now that does happen on console from time to time, but it's just like it's a lot more drastic on PC, I find. And then there's always that thing in your mind. It's like, well, what setting do I need to adjust to make this run better? How do I get through this like level and make it run smoothly? And then you're looking at the frame rate and you're like, oh, I want it at 100 frames, 120 frames now, And it's just like console, you literally throw the disc in and play it. And if there's any problem, there's a path for them to update it, but you don't have to scratch your head and try to figure it out yourself. Is it my console or is it the developer's problem?
Yes.
And on console, it's usually the developer's problem.
Which is good because it's almost like peace of mind. It's like, well, this is shit, but
now Adriano, if he's listening to this, he disagrees with us.
Well, he disagrees because he had that division problem. You mean? Is that what you mean?
No, he according to him, I think his PC gaming has been pretty good.
Yeah, but pretty good. You guys had that Gears of War problem, for example.
But that was a glitch with the game itself. That was definitely a glitch with the game.
Was it?
Yeah. We couldn't pick up a piece.
All three of us have had a problem where you can't play Civ 6 with us. Because there's a mismatch between the Mac and PC version.
Yeah, but I have it on PC now. But that was an issue, yeah.
Which you can blame on the developer, but at the same time, still a PC problem.
Yeah.
I like PC gaming. I have a powerful rig. I always update it when I need to. That's fine. I understand that. I have no problem with PC gaming, to be totally clear. It's the convenience of, like, even if I didn't have the living room. Like, some people always fight for the living room. Even if I didn't have, like, the living room set up and I had the console connected to, like, a monitor on the desk, it is still the convenience of push a button, put this in. Wow, this looks like shit. Can't do anything about it, and you continue to play.
Right.
Like, it's that little thing like you're saying. I don't want to mess around with, is VSync on? Is it going to run better if I do? Like, I don't want to fuck around. There's so many games. There are so many games that have trouble with dual monitor. The leftmost side of the monitor, either the mouse doesn't lock into the window, and so it goes off on the left. So if you accidentally go off to the left monitor or the right monitor, like on the secondary monitor, if your mouse goes on to the secondary monitor and escapes, you exit full screen mode. Then the game's all fucked up. Some of them you can't alt tab. Then you have other games where the leftmost, like, so let's say your secondary monitor is on the left side. Your leftmost side of your monitor, and this is not just me. I've had multiple monitors, multiple computers do this. The last pixel on the left side of the screen won't be detected as in the full screen game. So if your mouse, as you're scrolling in a shooter, because you're like rolling the mouse around all over the place, you don't know where your actual mouse position is in a shooter. Well, when you do this in a shooter, it'll go, and you're on the far left, it'll turn into like the actual Windows icon, like the Windows mouse icon. Then if you click to shoot, it takes you to the fucking desktop again.
I wish that the Xbox app acted more like a console itself. It's almost like another operating system you would load into.
That would be awesome.
And you basically have a console on your computer. I think that'd be kind of cool.
If the Xbox One X or the Xbox Series X is, like actually, like Epic Game Store and stuff like that, that's fantastic. Like that's next level shit.
I'm not betting on that.
I'm not betting on that either. I wouldn't bet on that either. But that's some next level shit.
Speaking of next gen consoles, I guess they technically consider the Stadia the first next gen console, just because it's doing something new. But they're running into some hiccups. There's a lot of angry people. I'm not sure. I wouldn't
call that a next gen console.
It's like the next gen of things, though.
I know that's a cynical way of looking at it, but like, come on now.
I'm not sure how the fans or the users are feeling about it nowadays, but we got this news story here from GameSpot that Doom Eternal will not run in true 4K on Stadia after all. So id Software posted a series of launch details and system specs on its official site, and the Stadia section notes that it will not run in true 4K. Instead, the site says it will run at 1080p and be upsampled to 2160p, matching the Xbox One X version of the game. It will run at 60 frames per second and support HDR. Now, at GDC in 2019, where Google debuted Stadia for the first time, id Software's Marty Stratton said the game would run at true 4K resolution. Now, maybe that was just a miss.
Could have been a misclick, or it could have been.
Well, he just said true 4K because it's like you want to say that.
Could have been a
Misspeak.
misspoke, or it could have been also they were on track and then they just couldn't achieve it.
Yeah, we were talking about how what's the Bethesda guy?
Pete Hines?
Pete Hines was saying that he didn't lie to you about Fallout 76. He said plans changed as they got further in the development.
But why don't they say it? Why are you keeping it under wraps? Why are you so secretive?
Yeah, why do they just apologize? Why not say plans changed?
Yeah, like, hey guys, like we're like in the middle of it. Hey guys, we're talking about this. And then you're gonna get a bunch of people bitching and crying, but you're gonna get a fair bit of good feedback in there.
Like maybe it's more than likely they couldn't get 4K, true 4K running. You know?
So you just say, hey guys, we're having trouble getting this 4K. I don't know if
Yeah.
you're gonna do it. Yeah, we couldn't do it.
Because as far as we know, they're running PC hardware on those servers, right?
Yeah.
And so even a 2080 Ti struggles with 4K at 60 frames, you know. So we're just not there.
It.
We're just not there yet.
No. So you just say it. Like I don't know. I don't get that Pete Hines interview is something else.
Did you watch it?
No. From hearing the bits and pieces from you guys, it sounds like Bethesda does not know what Fallout is.
I'd recommend watching it though.
I'm gonna watch it probably. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know where Stadia's future lies. I haven't heard a lot of good things since it launched. You know. Now maybe the press is only focusing on the bad things. I don't know.
Well, that's all. That's all that gets the clicks.
In sad news here, Google Stadia E3 has been canceled due to coronavirus.
Hell yeah, Dunzo
Kind of sad.
might never come back.
Yeah. Actually, just today, Apple announced they normally have their big iPhone conference in June.
Yeah.
That is now going digital only.
Yeah, a bunch of Microsoft events are digital only too.
Yeah.
I did hear, or it was like how I interpreted how somebody said something about E3, but it was like it does sound like they are going to do a show next year, or that's at least what their plan is. It's not like as if this is the end all be all, but once something starts to tip one way, we humans just make it the worst.
Right. Yeah. Well, for some reason there's a lot of disdain for E3 amongst the press, even. You know, and I don't get it. I don't know why.
I don't get it because it's an industry time for you to, like, you own your own presentation, for example, and I never paid much attention to the floor. Maybe a little bit during the G4 days because they were more on the floor type stuff.
Yeah.
But I never really paid much attention to the floor, so I don't get the disdain for it. Like, I don't know why. I don't get it myself.
It's just a few people I've heard from on Twitter and stuff, but like some people I saw like just hate E3 and are happy it's dying. And it's just that's crazy.
Who though? Influencers or like who?
I can't remember who it was. I just showed up on my feed somewhere.
Yeah, a lot of people hate E3. I think we hate everything.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't get it. But anyway, we have some what are these? Some reactions from some of the companies that typically at E3. Nintendo says Nintendo supports the ESA's decision to cancel this year's E3 to help protect the health and safety of everyone in our industry, our fans, our employees, our exhibitors, and our longtime E3 partners. We would like to express our concern and support for all those affected by COVID-19 outbreak during this challenging time. We'll continue to be flexible and redirect our efforts to other ways of keeping our fans up to date about our activities and products because of the COVID-19 outbreak. Large industry events may be untenable for the foreseeable future, but we are considering various ways to engage with our fans, and we'll have more to share as the year continues. Also, Xbox has announced that they're having a digital event.
When they say a digital event, do they mean that they're actually going to be in a theater and they're just going to be live streaming it, or do they mean that they're just going to be like?
Could be both.
Like
It'd be kind of awkward if they're in an empty theater, though.
I don't think it would be.
I don't know.
I think they should just do the show, but without the people, because that's the danger, is the people.
Yes.
So like, just have Phil Spencer and the other Microsoft staff show up and do the normal thing.
I feel like they might just do a video that would be cheaper, easier for them.
But I think it's going to feel cheaper.
Yeah. This is not the
no, but I don't think that making something feel cheaper in a time when there's, first of all, it's already distressful Like everyone's already distressed. And then an event was canceled. I don't think making it feel cheaper is going to help the reputation of E3. You know what I'm trying to say? Like if Microsoft or anyone cared about E3, it would make more sense for them to be like, it's the Microsoft Theater for Pete's sake. They can freaking rent it out for an hour.
No, they can. They probably still have rented out.
That's what I mean. So you just go like, okay, we're not gonna have anyone there, but let's just. And then all they do is they just don't interact with the quote unquote audience. They interact with the live stream.
I don't know. It's awkward when they're doing stuff like that though. Like the late night shows and a lot of talk shows have gone without audiences the last like week or so.
Yeah.
And it's just awkward.
How is it awkward?
Because there's no reaction. They're saying things like, "This is the brand new game," and then exclusive, and then the trailer plays.
Oh, and
then it comes
screaming
back,
and stuff.
and it's just quiet.
Oh yeah.
So it's awkward. Ubisoft is also exploring other options for a digital experience that will allow them to share their exciting news.
I wonder if games are going to be delayed. Movies are.
Yeah.
It sounds like Animal Crossing's a surefire thing.
But why would they be delayed though?
I don't know. I'm just wondering.
Like movies, like people had to be together to watch them.
Are they worried about people going to the store? I don't know.
Digital, though.
No, there's an option, but I'm
Yeah.
just wondering if they're worried about that.
I mean, no one so far in Canada, no one said don't go out. They just said don't go to high, like big, large groups of people.
So see that's the scary thing. What's a big group?
I think they said 250 or more.
Now hang on a minute though. If you have a group of 20, and one person's sick, see what I'm saying though? Like, so should you just not go out with anyone?
Well, no, because here's the thing: they're being precautious because they don't want people to catch this and it to boil over and go out of control, right? But the chances of you catching it are still very low. You could go run around Toronto for the day and it would be fine, most likely. You know what I mean?
But you're technically in crowds because those restaurants are pretty big.
But no one wants to win this lottery. That's the thing. You know what I mean?
This is scary. I don't like it. I almost wish this thing was like more easily detected. Like it'd be like, man, my eyes are like burning.
Well,
like
that's the thing.
Like they're
It's
red. So then it's like, oh,
it's like the perfect.
I have this.
It's like the perfect virus.
Because it looks like a cold.
Undetected for 2 weeks, and then
well,
what?
Wasn't it like detected, but it wasn't thought it was that bad?
No, like when you have it, you don't know you have it for 2 weeks.
Oh, you're talking about the incubation period.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like, because remember in the beginning it was like, this probably isn't that bad, and that's like, oh, it's pretty bad.
No, but the perfect diseases don't want to be detected, so then you transfer it to more people, right? So the longer that undetection period is, the better that disease is at being a disease. And then once you start showing symptoms, they're very mild, and so you don't think anything of it. It's not like, debilitating you. The worst diseases are the ones that kill you quickly, because then they don't have time to transfer and spread and grow.
Yeah.
So this one's like a perfect candidate for a pandemic.
Fucking scary.
Yeah. Anyway, what's your query corner question, Matt?
Yeah, I wrote it down here. So, actually, Marty and I discussed this a little while ago, and I thought we touched on it on the show, but I don't think we dedicated a full section to it. Actually, before I jump into this, I want to you and I had discussed this as well during the stream. I think my issue with things like State of the Play and stuff like that is that they're short.
Right.
I like to have an event because I was thinking I'm still gonna watch these E3 digital events. And I think it's because I like the idea of being okay, it's award show night, or it's Game Awards, or it's it's conference night. I'm going to stop everything and watch this. That's the thing I'm doing tonight.
Right.
I'm watching this thing, and I'll have people over or whatever, and we'll all watch it. But a State of Play, I'm not going to be hey guys, you want to come over for a 20 minutes
yeah.
State of Play.
It's not an event. It's just
not an event.
Yeah.
So I think we've discovered the problem. Anyway, I had a query corner here, so I just kind of wrote a real generic paragraph so I wouldn't forget. So, if a part of a game, okay, whether this be a control scheme or a feature or a part of the map or something, is easily missed, is it useful at all to the player, or is it actually a waste of time of the developer?
So give us an example.
So yeah, I have an example here. So such as the very missable, I'd say. Hippodrome chariot races in Assassin's Creed Origins.
Well, I don't know if it's very missable.
But that game, you don't go and seek out activities. Most of that map is it's marked on the map. Here's a tomb, do this. Here's a mission, do this. there's treasure here, do this. There's not very many things that are just like, oh, this is the hippodrome. But by the way, you can do hippodrome races. Like what? And I like what? Because like the arena, they had you doing.
There was a quest there.
There's a couple.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh damn, and then you might go back and look. I don't remember doing a freaking chariot race.
No, I don't. You played it more recently than I have.
And you do go in front of the chariot races and you talk to some guys that were betting or something.
So maybe they're hoping that you.
But that's so stupid. You still should do a chariot race. That's very missable. So it's like the overall thing is that actually bad? Is it actually bad game design? Is I guess the main question. Is it bad game design? And is it a waste of time on the developer's perspective, putting something in a game that's easily missable, unless it's an Easter egg, of course.
Right. That's what I was going to say though. Like Easter eggs, some Easter eggs are pretty elaborate sometimes.
And those are supposed to be like little puzzles and they're like little jokes.
Even those tombs and stuff are optional. You found that supercomputer or whatever.
I found that supercomputer. Yeah.
There's a couple other
cool.
wacky tombs you can find with gives you more lore and backstory.
I found that anime tomb.
To like the ancient gods or whatever the heck they are. You know, that's all optional, and someone had to go in there. They had to do the voice acting. They had to code it all. You know, I didn't do them until now. You know what I mean? I think it's just most of these developers' games go unseen. I think by a majority of the players.
But I think a lot of this argument, at least for me, actually stem from the fact of stuff you could easily miss. That's like something as even as simple as a control scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you play an entire game and then you're like, oh damn, I didn't know like holding down on the directional button.
I've had that happen before. Yeah.
Like or like the
bullet time in Max Payne.
Freaking bullet time, yeah.
Yep.
Bullet time in Max Payne. Well, you forgot there was bullet time.
I found out late in the game.
You found out late. I knew there was bullet time. I forgot there were painkillers.
Oh yeah.
So I beat that damn game and I didn't use any damn healing items.
Yeah.
It was a freaking disaster. Because I played the old Max Paynes and they were all bullet timed out, so I knew that. But it, like, is that not a useless feature? Like it.
No, because there are people who played it.
But should any piece like that be missable? Like, is that bad game design? Like, one dude bumps the button in level 1. He bumps the button, and he's like, damn, that's pretty good. And he uses it through. Maybe that's a great feature. But is it bad game design that it's that missable?
I think it's just a result of an open world game. They can't drag you through every single aspect of it. Part of these open world games are exploration. They put those question marks all over the map for people to go explore and say, "What's this?"
But that's a non-missable thing. Like you go onto the map, you're like, "Have I discovered this place?" No, I haven't.
The hippodrome is marked,
but it's marked like any other location and becomes a fast travel point, like any other location, and it doesn't have a different symbol. Okay, so what it is
but
it has
if you fast travel to it though, it might take you right into it.
Well, it has a white symbol, right?
Yeah.
There's like a white so the iconography on the map is a little white symbol. And then if you can fast travel to it, it has like a turquoise or like a green. I think it's
a
turquoise.
Green arrow on that.
Yeah.
Or
so
something like that.
This thing is a different symbol, so you can tell it's like a bigger building, like a Coliseum or something. From the map, you can't really tell.
Yeah.
And then it has a different icon, like the white icon's different. And then you can fast travel to it. But like I don't. Even then, like, is that good game design? Catching you in a fast travel? Could you imagine being in Red Dead online, or even just Red Dead, and you're like, oh, like I always fast travel to the. I don't really fast travel in that game, but you always fast travel to like the little, the icon that has like the road signs. So you always fast travel to them, and then all of a sudden you fast travel to one of them, and it's like a whole like boat race, and you're like, I didn't want to do a boat race. I just wanted to fast travel to this location.
I don't think it's personally. Well, I don't like that Assassin's Creed just dumps me in it, but
well, you don't know if it does, right?
It does for the gladiator fights.
So it might for the hippodrome.
So I'm just assuming it would do it for the hippodrome.
But isn't that weird? Why is that not in the game? That's weird. Not dragging me to every inch of the map is fine because they have the question marks, they have the viewpoints. It's obvious when there's an exploration
But the hippodrome
area.
thing isn't a major part of the game either. It's an optional thing that you can do to get money and XP.
Isn't that a waste of time? And
no,
there's been time that I've needed money and didn't know how to get money except for quests. I could have went and did hippodrome.
Sure, but I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Would it have been okay for them to not have the gladiator like story mission and then just like allow you to like find the Coliseum and not think anything of it, and then but if you went and talked to some random NPC, you'd be able to get in there? Like, and not have a quest associated with it. You know how weird that is? That's very weird. You take heaven forbid, we're talking about Bethesda and game design here. Take Bethesda and take the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, for example. You go and you start in the Imperial City. Minor spoilers. You start in the Imperial City, and you walk around the Imperial City. There's a lot of stuff in the Imperial City that actually points you to go to places. There's people. There's wanted posters for the Grey Fox. There's a bunch of posters for the arena, and I think you can actually interact with them, and they might mark it on your map or something. But at the very least, even if that isn't the case, it's been years since I played it. But even if it doesn't mark it on your map, that still makes you go like the arena. The hell is that? And then on your map, there's like an arena district in the Imperial City, and all the posters and all the districts are all the Imperial City districts have the arena posters. So, like, that's good game design. Like, it's saying like, hey, there's some weird shit going on with this guy called the Great Fox. He's a wanted man. Also, by the way,
yeah, but
go fight in the arena.
In Fallout 3, didn't you run past everything?
I accidentally did that, not due to bad game design. It was due to the fact that I saw somebody else play and thought they were at the beginning.
Okay.
I fucked that up. That was me.
Okay.
That was my fault. Because in Fallout 3, Fallout 3 again, Fallout 3, you start minor spoilers. You start outside of Vault 101. You walk outside. You go to like this view. There's like this thing called the Scenic Overlook. So it lightly guides you. You don't have to follow it. So you go up to this thing. You walk up to the Scenic Overlook because it's like the first sign you see. You look over. You see, I think it's Springvale. And you're like, oh, what's that? So normally players would like walk down the path, go to the road, walk down to Springvale, and then Springvale has like a couple interiors and a couple things to loot. But then it has this big sign that says Megaton to the right. So the next thing most players are going to do are walk to the right, go to Megaton, and then now you're in the game. Now you have quests and people to talk to and everything else. That's it guiding you. You could just fuck off to the right and go do whatever you want, but like.
Now, do you think it needs to be as blatant as the mission is do a hippodrome race?
Yeah.
So it can't just simply be like you're talking to someone near the hippodrome arena. And
I really hope there's not a hippodrome mission in this game that I forgot, and now we sound like idiots.
Maybe that's the case. I haven't played it in a long time. I don't recall doing the hippodrome race back when I did play.
I don't remember it. For the sake of these arguments, let's just say there isn't one.
Okay.
But like, because there's missable components in other games.
Would it be okay if a character that you were talking to in another mission just said, "Hey, go check out the hippodrome race. You can win some money," and then that was it?
It should still take you there, right? I'm gonna look this up.
I think it's fine to have elements of a game in a game that they don't need to hold your hand to take you there. They clearly made a choice. You know what I mean? Not to have a mission, if this is the case, not to have a mission that takes you there.
Well, here's this: why hippodrome is shit and hippodrome bullshit is two Reddit threads.
You don't want to play it anyway, Matt. It is bad.
Oh God, this guy's swearing like crazy.
It's not very good.
But regardless of which, it's still like a major feature that they hid from us. Why are you hiding it?
It's not a major feature though. It's optional. They made it. They physically made it an optional thing to do.
Yeah.
It's not a major piece.
Here's another example from Oblivion. Okay.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Major spoilers, actually, this time.
Major
spoilers right now.
I've not finished Oblivion.
Major spoilers. You've gone to Kvatch, right? That's the city that got attacked by Oblivion.
Yes.
Okay. In that is a main mission, a main story mission, okay, that takes you into the city of Kvatch. You liberate the city. You take out the Oblivion Gate. By you doing that in the story, it guided you through how to kill or take out or whatever an Oblivion Gate. Now, as you progress through the story, I think this might be the first trigger point. The actual world, the open world, starts spawning Oblivion Gates. They're all over the damn place. Now it's totally up to you. Like, you can run around the whole world, go and seek these Oblivion Gates out, and you can go and take them out if you want. And now you know how to because you did this mission.
Correct, yeah.
But like any good game design, there's extreme variants of every Oblivion Gate. There's always like a tower, and there's always, you got to get to the top of the tower, and you always got to take the sigil stone, and then it always collapses the Oblivion Gate.
Mm-hmm. That
was taught to you. But there's some of those damn gates that have like 4 or 5 towers, one main one. There's weird cave systems. There's like weird lava ways covering paths. It's hard. It is hard sometimes to find. It is variable difficulty. And that is good game design. But you know, at the end of the day, that's my goal. I need to go up there. You're not walking around being like, I hope I don't have to push a button down here somewhere.
It's not called Assassin's Creed Hippodrome.
No, but I'm not trying to specifically bring up Origins. But it's just the most recent example you and I have together.
No, but I'm just saying.
Is that bad game design to have such a missable feature?
No.
Then why the arena is missable?
It depends.
The arena isn't missable in Oblivion.
It depends on the size of the thing. If it was a major plot point,
yeah,
sure, that would be bad game design if they don't tell you how to get there or how to do it.
Sure.
This is an optional thing.
That isn't labeled differently, though.
Isn't labeled.
Why isn't it a side mission?
It's just an optional thing. It's a place to go.
But there's nothing on the map. Like everything's based on the map in terms of navigation.
You have to go there to activate that travel point.
Correct. And then when I go there and activate that travel point, which the story takes me near or actually to, why doesn't it actually physically pull me mandatorily into the race?
Maybe it does.
Again, I honestly don't remember it. I beat the game like a couple weeks ago.
Maybe because it's optional.
And I don't remember it.
Maybe because it's optional, though. It's just one of those things where it might have pulled you in,
right,
and then give you an option to leave.
Here's another example of bad. Now here's bad game design. Here's another example of this whole thing. Okay. Another example. Fallout New Vegas. Bad game. You want to fight me on it? Hit me up on Twitter.
It's not a bad game.
Bad game. Fallout 3 is better. So is Fallout 4. You want to fight me on it? Hit me up on Twitter. Moving on. Bad game. Just triggering the audience now. Anyway, doesn't matter. There is an arena. Spoilers. There is an arena, not an arena, a full arena, a full arena system in Fallout New Vegas. Do you know where it is? In a random manhole on the left side of not even the strip. You know, like the strip is like in its own little zone in that game. This is like in that like shitty, desolate town that isn't even like sold differently because there's not much there. There is a random manhole. You go down there, there's a full arena down there.
Yeah.
A full arena. I found a full arena in that game like 200 hours in. I didn't even know it was there.
What a great surprise.
What a great surprise. You know what else would have been awesome? I ran through that mechanic so damn quick because I was ultra powerful. You know what would have been awesome? People in the strip and stuff like that talking frequently or having signs up about the arena, and then me going in there and being like, damn, like I need some damn money, and then working in there and actually having it. It is incidental at the end of the game to me.
I'm sure some people stumbled across it naturally.
Yeah.
When they were at the proper level or whatever. Sure. And they enjoyed their time.
But and you know what? I'll give New Vegas this. I'll give New Vegas this. Good game design. What's good game design in them? Because I'm actually on the side of it's bad game design to have a piece that's missable, that's potentially major, that you want people to use, whether it be a control scheme or like a whole mechanic. Good game design. Fallout New Vegas. They talk about Vegas all the time. They're like, oh, Vegas is great. You can climb the mountain near Good Springs where you start, and you can look down at night even, or like at night specifically, sorry, and you can see New Vegas glowing in the background. And you're like, damn. So it's literally a glowing goal.
Yeah.
So you go left towards it, you get your ass kicked. You go straight, you get your ass kicked. You got to go to the right and loop back around.
Okay.
But then you fight your way up to New Vegas.
But not all things...
That's good game design.
Not all things are about a goal. Sometimes it's about discovery. The goal of that arena you're talking about is to discover it.
But shouldn't the discovery be people talking about it? I'm totally fine with this.
Not particularly.
No, people talking about it in rumor, but not saying where it is. That's interesting. Now you're like,
But it doesn't have to be that as well. It could be a little stump that you stumble across. How amazing is that? I was just walking.
I will admit it was a surprise.
If you were walking in the middle of a field and you find this manhole and it's like, what the hell is this? You go in and it's this whole new world that you now have to explore.
Right.
That's cool. And that enough, that small enjoyment for that small amount of people is enough, I think, for that to be warranted.
See, I think it's too major. Like it's too major of a miss. Like it's something too big to be missed.
No, but there's
like an Easter egg.
You have to remember though, Matt. They also built the rest of the game.
No, I know.
Major sections of it.
I know.
They built a small little section.
Yeah.
Relatively.
Yeah.
To discover.
Wait, what do you mean a small section to discover? New
The,
Vegas?
the arena is small relative to the rest of the game.
Right.
You had your Vegas thing you were talking about. So they gave you what you want. There's a big shining goal I can see.
Yeah.
But then they also gave it for the discovery people as well.
Do you remember in New Vegas, major spoilers, do you remember in New Vegas at the end of the game or in the late game or the end game, whatever you want to call it in that game, at the later game, you can go to this random clinic and you can get brain implants.
Mm-hmm.
And it raises your stats a certain way or something like that. I can't remember. They're buffs on something. I think it's your stats. And they're really expensive, but that's how you really push a character to be like top notch. That clinic isn't even in New Vegas. It's in Freeside, which is totally incidental. Like Freeside has the Kings and stuff like that. Like Freeside has a fair amount
It's
of
just
stuff.
on the outside of
Mick and Ralph's and stuff like that.
New Vegas, though.
No, but it's literally okay. So on your map, on your physical map in your Pip-Boy, you have this like city, like this. It looks like a little like metropolis area. It's like a city, like a population center. You walk in there, nobody goes through every like fine-tooth comb. They get led through. So when you first arrive, if we rewind a bit, and you first arrive and you're starting to go to New Vegas, you take the normal path, you go down, you go all the way, like you do this big horseshoe around the map, you come up into New Vegas, but you can't actually get to the Strip. Freeside's in your way. But before you get into Freeside, you see like the gun runners, so you learn about the gun runners. And I'm just like loosely going through people's paths. Then you go in and you find Freeside. Freeside has Mick and Ralph's. It has the Kings. It has the clinic people. I don't know what they're called. It has the Atomic Wrangler. It has the people that run the plasma weapons. I forget what their name is. They have all them. Those are factions and people that you have to interact with, and your goal is to get through a gate that is guarded by like quote unquote at that point impenetrable guards, Securitrons, to get into New Vegas. You want to get into the Strip specifically. Freeside is like, it was all Vegas, right? Pre-war. But then the Strip is like separate. That's like New Vegas Strip. And the rest of it, like Freeside is like a district of it that like no one cared about, but it's getting Vegas like. Like you get there and the Kings are all like neoned out and they have like the lights and all this crap. Same with the Atomic Wrangler. It's a casino, but it's a shittier casino. Right? That stuff, like Freeside, is better game design. But like you leave Freeside and there's like on your map you see like little houses and stuff in this one area. That's where the clinic is. It's so incidental. Why the fuck isn't the clinic in Freeside? Freeside is so sparse. Like it has the Kings and stuff I just said, but it's a big area for having those 2 or 3 things. Mick and Ralph's is all the way around the corner. Like why is there so many empty buildings in Freeside? Why do I gotta go walking over to some random, literally a Brahmin farm area? Like there's an area there's an area with a Brahmin farm, and the clinic's way over there. Like why? And then this clinic seems so incidental. Like I think you can do a quest or 2 there. Mm-hmm. It seems so incidental. It's like, oh, it's a side quest. I can do this side quest. Side quests are fine if you miss them, right? I would say, but I'm not missing a full mechanic of the game because all side quests are like, go here, pick this up, go here, kill this man. I'm not missing an actual mechanic of the game.
Yeah.
The Hippodrome is a mechanic.
Yeah.
If I did one Hippodrome race, did the whole Hippodrome, like did one whole race, and left, and then I personally forgot that I could go back, that's it. No big deal. Because I used that mechanic. I'm aware of the Hippodrome. I'm aware of the chariot races.
I don't think it's necessary.
But the Hippodrome is not an Easter egg, for example.
No, but if they wanted you to absolutely know about it,
right,
they would have taken you there.
Do you think though that sometimes they just think you're going to discover it? The Pete Hines interview.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Or not the Pete Hines interview. Fallout 4. They thought that the story for one of the first times in a Fallout game or one of their games was compelling enough for you to do the story. They thought you would actually want to care about your kid. I don't care about Sean. Last thing I care about, walk out and I'm like, where's Codsworth? I didn't even ask where Sean was, like personally. Like, okay, my kid's gone. Okay, where's Codsworth at? I want to talk to him. That's what I did.
Yeah.
But what I mean is like, so like that, it doesn't like show itself too much in like actual mechanic, but like technically that's bad design on their behalf. If they thought most people are going to go after the story and then it didn't, that's bad design on their behalf. It just didn't end up falling flat because it didn't matter.
Well, that's not so much of a design thing. They just thought that people would do it. It's the same as the main story in Fallout 3. Just people.
But they didn't think people were going to go. They didn't think it was that riveting.
But what changed in the way they made the game that makes it bad design? They simply thought people would play the story more in Fallout 4.
Yeah.
But they didn't change the design.
No, so I would say that it is. I would say that.
What
no,
changed?
I would say that
You have a main quest.
No,
and you have support quests.
No, but it's unseen. So the way that the main quest, in my opinion, and it's unseen, so I'm speculating, is the way that because when someone comes up with a design for something, whatever it is, whether it means like graphic design or whatever, they have like a goal in mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
In general. In this case, it seemed like their goal was to have people do the main quest first, make it riveting enough. When you have that goal, that underlying goal, the way you design the quest and the way you design the actual, like the story and the dialogue in this game for the first time, like the actual spoken word in this game,
dialogue,
the player dialogue, and all that stuff, like the actual spoken word, the options, the whole bit. The way that they design that is all based. Even a little bit is all based on the fact that they thought this quest is like a riveting quest that people are going to want to solve the mystery of. So the changes, like the reason why it's okay is because it didn't fall flat. The design was versatile enough so that it didn't matter.
I don't think they designed it that way, though. I don't see how you design it that way.
Well,
it sounds like to me they simply said that they thought they wrote a compelling enough story to get people to focus on the main objective,
right,
rather than focusing on side quests.
Less branching paths is an example of that.
Okay.
Like, yes, sarcastic, yes, or not right now.
Yeah.
That's literally basically your options.
Yeah.
So they thought their writing was and I'm speculating. They thought their writing was riveting enough to bring you through it.
Yeah.
What's something that I missed in Fallout 4? This is a really small one. Fallout 4. I started a new character at one point. Started walking around the northern part of the region, and I missed a random water pump. There's two things I missed. I missed a random water pump, and I went down. I was like, "What the hell is this? It's running, but I can't get into this this random little literally like a service latch. Can't get in here." Walk down to the water, plug it up. It breaks or shuts off whatever the little generator. The thing opens up. 3 cap stashes. That's small. That's not bad game design. That's me fucking around. There's another one where I was unaware until later on. This is on my main character. Unaware until later on that there was like a whole meat packing area and like area of the map. The story never takes me there. That's meant for exploration, but it literally doesn't touch the story at all, and that is a cool surprise. But that's not leaving a whole mechanic out of the game. Could you imagine if the story never took you into story spoilers? Could you imagine if the story in Fallout 4 never took you into the glowing sea? Do you know what you would do? You'd walk towards it, be like, "Damn, I can't go in there," and you walk away.
Yeah.
The story has to take you there.
Yes, that's a major part of the game, though.
The glowing sea?
Yeah.
It has a major point in it, but like more or less you just fast travel.
It's also a large part of the map too.
It is, but in Fallout,
I'm just saying the Hippodrome thing did not affect my enjoyment of the game one way or another.
The Hippodrome again is only the most recent example,
and I don't think the developers need to handhold you to every single mechanic in the game. At least they shouldn't be obligated to.
I would say the mechanic. You don't think they have to handhold you to the mechanics? I absolutely agree with having stuff hidden in the map.
Because there's a billion other mechanics in that game.
There's not a billion other mechanics. What mechanic? Like actual mechanics are?
No, but I mean, there's like you can. First of all, there's all those bases you can take out. You can either go stealthy, you can go loud. But that's a mechanic. There's multiple weapons you can choose from. Yeah. I'm saying there's enough game there for them to just simply leave out one small mechanic. It's you going around in a circle for 2 minutes, right? For them to leave that out is not a high crime.
The Hippodrome might not be the greatest example, but it is absolutely the most recent example, which is why we bring it up.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't think it's necessary.
Like if you had a game where you find out late in the game that hitting right bump is a 180 degrees, like you turn around immediately. It is that bad game design that they didn't teach you that. So the game teaches you the controls and they teach you like aim this, shoot this.
Yeah, if it's necessary to playing the game, sure.
Or it just makes it better. Like it's not necessary. Like you've already beat it, but you go back and you're like, damn, I didn't know I could do that.
Well, The Last of Us, there is that quick turnaround that I never used.
See, that's bad game design.
But they do teach you it.
They do teach it to you.
Yeah.
But were you aware of it throughout?
I forgot about it because it's useless.
That's bad game design. They had a useless mechanic.
Sure.
That's what I'm arguing. Not specifically the Hippodrome. Like the Hippodrome is just the most.
But you're arguing not showing someone a function of the game.
Or or just guiding them even loosely, like those signs in Oblivion. That's freaking good design.
But I mean, I don't know. They could have loosely led me to the Hippodrome thing. I clearly got that viewpoint there, the fast travel.
Because I remember going to the front of it, but I don't. But there was nothing big enough for me to be like, oh, there must be chariot races here.
I don't know then. Anyway, that's all the time.
Wait, so what's your verdict then?
I don't think it's necessary to handhold you to every aspect of the game.
Give me your favorite game
Of all time?
Yeah,
The Last of Us.
it's a scripted one. Give me, which is we already talked about the controls of that. Give me one of your recent favorite
God of War.
open world games. Okay,
Open worldish, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. They walk you through the mechanics of that game.
Sure.
What if they just didn't? What if they never?
Again,
what if they never
if
taught?
it-
Hang on a
again,
minute.
if it's
What if they never taught
fundamental-
you that you could go to other realms?
Again, if it's fundamental to the game, that's a problem. Hippodrome is not.
No, it's not.
Even fighting the Valkyries is not fundamental to the game.
No,
I didn't even really know that they existed until the end of the game.
I don't know how you missed that.
Because nothing told me I had to go.
No,
fight
so several times you can go.
They
to
mention it, but nothing takes me there.
No,
has me fight one.
You don't. Spoilers. You don't know what's behind those doors.
Yeah.
But I wanted to know what was behind those doors, and those doors are common enough that you're like, oh my god, like I want to know how. At least me, I was like, well, I want to know behind those doors. And Atreus all the time said, like, oh, we got to come back later. We know the right tool for that. Like Atreus is the guiding force in that game.
Yeah.
You could very easily, accidentally, not explore that game.
Yes.
If Atreus didn't tell you, because the game in the introductory section, until you get to the big spinning thing, I forget what it's called, but until you get to that point, okay, is linear.
Mm-hmm.
Go here, go here, go here, and you just walk through this way. So now there's branching paths, but it's always like go to the right, and then you have to like come back around, or it always comes back to the main path somehow, right? That game is linear, okay, with some side paths. But then it almost becomes an open world game. But you don't really know it's an open world game until Atreus says, well, we can go to a main mission, or we can come and explore the lake.
Mm-hmm.
There would, in no circumstance, normally, can I see myself being like, I'll go rip around this empty looking lake. But then when he says that, you're like, oh, damn, there's probably some shit in this lake. And then you go ripping around the lake.
So that's all it takes, though. Then it's just
a guiding path, just
a line
little
mentioning it somewhere.
A guy mentioning it, a little push. Fallout 76 has a okay. This is really weird, but I did this, and this is a guiding thing. I broke into. I mean, spoilers for 76, but it's a bad game, so. I went up into the Charleston. I think it was like the Hornwright Mining Company tower in Charleston.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, climb up, go to his terminal, and I read through it, and he mentioned that there was like, and it's been a while now, so he mentioned there was like a strike in this area. He mentioned that he mentioned like his mansion. He mentioned that he had like stuff locked away or something like that. And so I went, because it was mentioned, I went on a hunt for his house, and I ended up finding his vacation house, which I thought was his house, but found out it was only a vacation house. I then found his mansion, and then actually before I found his mansion, I found the fucking place where those strikers were and where they like hung out. And then because I knew they were strikers and stuff like that, I went looking around that place a little more, and I found a secret passage underneath, going into the basement. And there's like a whole like thing under there. There's like, you can get a bunch of loot and stuff like that. It's 76, so it's not very deep. But it's like, as deep as Fallout 76 is. Find a secret passage, you go under there, you get some good guns and weapons, whatever, some good loot. You go under there and you get that. But that was because I was led there.
Yeah.
And in that game,
I'm saying, yes, there are times to take you to cool areas, and there are times when it's more of an explorative thing. Just you wandering the world and you discover something.
That is fine, but not mechanic wise.
I don't care what it is. It could be a whole entire new game.
What do you mean?
I don't care. I don't need to experience it.
That's weird, isn't it?
I'm not making a general statement. But I'm saying there are games and times and places when I don't need to explore every single aspect of that game.
No, I'm not saying you need to explore every single aspect.
If
I'm
they
saying
never,
you should be introduced to the mechanics of the game.
If they never told me about the Valkyries, I don't care.
But that's okay because all you do is fight them.
Yeah, it's
So you're just fighting.
But
It's
it's a
not like-
whole new method of fighting.
Well,
And-
no, they're just the hardest enemies.
You
in
get
the
a
game.
bunch of armor sets for it.
Yeah, of course.
I missed out on that.
But they do point them to you.
If they
You
didn't, if they didn't though, I wouldn't have had a problem.
I didn't know what a Valkyrie was. I didn't pay attention enough to the subtext, right?
Yeah,
But I knew there was those doors.
yeah.
And I was like, what the hell's behind this door? Go down there. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then after I killed one, I was like, I'm fucking going to kill all these
But
bitches,
I would not
literally.
have a problem if they didn't lead me in some way to those doors.
That's more. Well, first of all, they did lead you, but
But I'm
that's
saying if they didn't,
if they didn't.
I'm okay with that.
Here's another example.
Am I bummed out that I missed out on something? Sure, but it's like when I find out, then I can go do it if I want.
Here's another example. Fable,
Mhm.
all the Fables, minus maybe 3. I don't really remember. But Fable kind of throws demon doors in your face. Remember Fable demon doors? You got to do
I don't
something.
remember a single thing from Fable.
Okay, well, anyway, regardless of which, the game
It's an
leads
awful
you. The
series.
game what?
It's an awful
3's
series.
bad, but
It's,
the game
it's
leads
weird.
you towards like these demon doors, and what they are is they're different. They're different for each one. It's like a challenge basically for each one. Sometimes it's literally as much as like punch the door and it opens. Some of them are like please come back when you're a mightier hero.
Mhm.
Some of them are like come back when you're good. Come back when you're bad. Whatever it tells you. So then when you go in, that's the discovery. You go through these so that you learn. These are massive doors, and these doors have challenges. So as you're running through the world, these doors are hidden. Some of them are really obvious, some are hidden. But that's fine. But they teach you the demon door mechanic. And then the stuff inside is unique sometimes. But that's okay because they led you to go in there.
But why are you so against just simple discovery?
I'm not against simple discovery when it comes to exploration stuff. Like in Fallout 4, when I found that like meatpacking plant and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was me being like, oh, cool. Or I found like that fully automated mall in Fallout 4. I missed that area of the map. I don't think that's bad game design to be like, damn, like I missed this
There
part.
you go. That's all I'm saying.
But
I'm
that
saying,
is not
I'm
a
saying-
mechanic. That is not a mechanic. That is not me. That is not the
But
area where I learn how to
okay.
mod my weapons.
Okay, but that's a major part of the game. Hippodrome is not. This is my point. If it fundamentally changes the way I can play the game, like modding armor or something,
Sure.
yes, that's a problem. Not being introduced to that sort of thing.
Right.
But having a simple side, like not even side quest. This is like less than side quest.
So then.
Hippodrome race.
But when you agree
Does
then,
not bother me
when you agree
whatsoever.
then in terms of the career corner that is a waste of time, but from the developer
No.
and possibly bad game design.
No, because it's there for the people who did find it, and they enjoyed it. If they did, but Hippodrome sucks. But
Great.
it's there for those people who discover it. Easter eggs are similar.
But they're not mechanics.
No, but they're a waste of time for the developers technically. They only add value to the few people who find them.
Absolutely. And you get people that like
It's fun.
It adds a bit of buzz because we're in like an influencer age.
I would say that the Hippodrome is a similar aspect.
There's
It
no
is-
buzz. No one's like, man, this is awesome. I found a hippodrome.
No,
race
because
area."
it wasn't good, but but they planned it to be good.
You know what would be okay? A hidden arena somewhere. So you have the original arena. You get taken in. You know you can do the arena now. You go back. You can do that arena. But then you find an underground arena. That's totally fine to me.
That'd be fine.
That's
too,
totally fine to me.
Yeah.
But the actual arena mechanic should be freaking shown off. The actual mechanic should be shown off. That's
When
outrageous.
when it's as insignificant as a Hippodrome race, I that's fine with me. I'm with you on major mechanics. I'm with you there.
What's your cutoff for major?
Hippodrome race.
No, I need like
I
like
hate-
a moneymaker
I hate-
or something that makes
I
it
hate-
easier. Like,
I hate racing in games. I hate it.
but that like kick the hippodrome race out of the example tree. Then, in terms of you saying major, like the arena is a skippable section of Oblivion. Is that major to you?
No, because it doesn't fundamentally change how I play the rest of the game.
It can.
How?
So one of the very first things that, I do. I'm not a speedrunner, but one of the very first things I do to kickstart myself is I go and I walk out and I go into the arena. The arena gives you armor. It allows you to train. I believe there's weapons available. So without paying,
Yes, but
And then
but,
you get
but
money.
that is achievable other ways in the game.
that's
That's not really a mechanic.
no, but
This is more of an activity.
it's an activity, but the arena like itself is a mechanic, right? Because the arena has two parts. If you say hook in the blade, I'm gonna fight you. Right when I said it.
I didn't even think of that. No.
But it has two parts. You can fight in the arena. You can join a team and you can fight, or you can actually bet on a fight and watch the fight. So it's major in the early game, because in the early game you're broke, you don't have any armor, and you can't really like kill some dude out in the woods to like get his armor, or if you do, or the guy that you do kill is low armor, but they give you almost like a stimulus package, like here you go, grunt, here's some shit.
My cutoff
Start your
is
journey.
useless side activities. If there was golfing in Assassin's Creed for some reason, and they never took me there, I don't care about golfing.
I think that's fair.
There you go.
Maybe Hippodrome Race is that useless,
It is.
but I'm again.
You did it for a trophy, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Well, the trophy, and it was just the most recent. I will say, I needed damn money at that point in the game, and I would have probably done the Hippodrome races. I needed some freaking money at that point in the game, and I didn't know what else to do.
You can make money by doing all the other question marks
You're
on the
a high
map.
level.
No, but you can do all those question marks on the map. First of all, you can collect all the money from all the items laying around.
Yeah.
You can collect the treasures, and then when you kill people, you can collect the stuff off their bodies. Then you go to the one of the salespeople and you sell it all. You make a ton of money.
Again, though, early in the game, I didn't know all this.
You don't need the Hippodrome race.
But it would have been a money-making
All right,
source.
Matt. There we go.
Come on, bud.
There you have it. Thanks for listening.
Curry Corner HippodromeRace.com.
Me and Matt stream on the Twitch, the Twitcherino, twitch.tv/day1patchmedia. And we're on the podcast every week. We'll see you guys next time.
And we're on, well, that anchor's pretty sweet, too.
Anchor's doing good.
Sunday at noon
Sunday
is the release date.
at noon.
Yeah.
See ya.
Peace.